brands like transportation or restaurants and attractions are reopening in China. Actually, today we are still like wearing facial masks, but the situation and also the facilities and also the controls of safety and sanitation in different maybe restaurants or the public areas is actually very good. So for us, during the Qingming Festival and the Labor Day holiday, more and more people are coming out or even have some short distance trip during the Labor Day holiday. So we can see here are some figures that we have got from the government's website. We can see the first public holiday in the Labor Day is actually the first public holiday after the serious coronavirus lockdowns. So the domestic travel industry is actually recovering by 50% compared to last year. And during the year of the 5-day holiday, the number of domestic trip was 150 million, and the amount of tourist spending was 47.6 billion yuan. So you can see for the e-commerce sales, the volume has actually increased when compared to 2019. The reason behind is like people are more concerned. They have more concerns on the safety and also on the refund policy of different attractions or maybe hotels. That's some of the factors that will affect their decision making. So they will prefer to use more e-commerce platform like OTAs or maybe the hotel's own official website to make booking or make like the entrance tickets for the theme parks, etc., etc. And also for the e-commerce live streaming, we know which is very popular in China now. Like different key opinion leaders or key opinion customers will conduct a live streaming campaign online, and they will show and feature the benefits of the products, and the users will make purchase when they are watching the live streaming. So it's also a booming, like a very rapid growth in China as well. So I believe the growth of the e-commerce sales and also the live streaming will also be like two very recommended channels for all of us today to consider in our future campaigns. So to be more China ready and to have ourselves more better prepared for our upcoming campaigns, we have also summarized 3 points here. The first point will be Tencent's cloud and the smart services. It will be helping your brands to enhance the travel experience. And the second part will be, although it will still take maybe 4 to 6 months for the whole industry and including our hotel industry to be recovered, and to have users to have Chinese tourists to go abroad. But it is still recommended for us to do some promotions and to do some branding campaigns to be connecting with our users and to remind them to do some pre-booking sales. And the third part will be, as Mr. Harling also mentioned, safety matters and the hygiene issues will be the most concerned factors of Chinese users as well. So what we can do is to like get better prepared. And we will also include a survey in a later session, which indicates that the National Day holiday will be the earliest expected time for Chinese users to go abroad for their mid to long haul distance trip. So for brands, we have captured some social responsibility content and like how the brands bring out very love and care content on their WeChat official account and on their advertising materials. So we can see that the very love and very caring message from Singapore, and also from Thailand, and also a article we found from Malaysia Tourism Board's article about the social responsibility of Malaysia's health organizations, and how China and Malaysia help each other to conquer the coronavirus. And here are some key visuals that Wuhan Tourism Board were doing, because you know, in China, one of the very interesting insight here is we've done a survey to over 10,000 respondents and asked them which city or where do you want to go, or where do you want to visit the most after the situation is getting stabilized. Most of the users choose Wuhan, because you know Wuhan is the original cities of the like we found the first infected case. So for the domestic travel market, people will would like to go to Wuhan the most. So here is the campaign that Wuhan Tourism Board featured their most well-known scenery spots on Tencent platform. And here we also can see that some of the brands leveraged live streaming function to provide a cloud travel to their target audience. The first one is Chengdu. They've done a live streaming campaign for the giant panda. So it has attracts 220,000 viewers to watch the show. And also Pinduoduo, they've done a live streaming, collaborated with 6 national museums in China and the MET. So they launched a cloud travel and a souvenir sales promotion. So people can go to Pinduoduo to watch the live streaming of different museums, and they can purchase the souvenirs on their platform directly. And the right-hand side one is a Great Britain museums online tour. So we can see that even during the COVID-19, more and more brands will prefer to have their brands or their scenery to be online and to keep interacting with the people in China. And during the Labor Day holiday, some landmark attractions are reopening, such as Shanghai Disneyland, the Forbidden City, and also the Dunhuang Mogao Grottos. So we can see that for those landmark attractions, they have also adapted similar approaches. So the visitors must book their tickets online, but not like go to the ticket selling counter and to like buy the tickets on the entrance. They must book the travel online, and also the traffic are restricted to maybe only 30 to 40% of regular maximum volume. Okay. So we can see here is actually a very good showcase of a provincial tourism board in China called Yunnan. It's a smart travel solution on mini program. So this is actually a very high-level strategic collaboration between the Yunnan provincial tourism boards between Tencent. So the users can go to the mini program. Here are some screen caps of the mini program. Users can search for the scenery spots and for different activities, and you can buy the tickets online, and you can have the online map and the audio guide, etc., etc. So during the first 10 days of May, we've also seen that more than 10,000 travelers have been conduct online booking on the mini program. If you are interested, we can share the deck after the sharing session, and we can share the QR code of this mini program to you. So you can use your WeChat to scan the QR code and to experience how the mini program looks like. Okay, so in overseas countries, we can also see that a brand called it's a brand from New Zealand. They also leverage the Tencent Kandian to conduct a live streaming campaign on WeChat mini program. So they used Kandian to do a live streaming campaign to sell Huawei products. So this campaign was targeting the local WeChat users who are residing in New Zealand. So more than 500 pieces have been sold just during the live streaming campaign. And there are total more than 50,000 of audience watched the live show, and it's like just for the New Zealand local market. So you can see the Kandian live streaming is actually quite powerful, and we also recommend different brands to consider use Kandian to interact with your target customers. These case studies must be more related to all of you guys. So it's a campaign done between C-Trip and Kandian. So we can see that C-Trip's chairman, James, he has been the key opinion leader of their live streaming campaign. And they launched this campaign called Schedule Future Trips program. So they offering discounts of 10,000 hotels. I believe most of you might have heard about this live streaming campaign done by C-Trip. So it's actually a very successful campaign. You can see that on the grand launch day, C-Trip achieved 1,700K orders and more than 20 million GMV just within the WeChat Kandian mini program. Okay, so previously we have shared the market trends and also different brands marketing activities on Tencent. And the following session, I will share some insights and some figures that we have found on some online platform, especially a survey that have been conducted by Tencent. We have conducted a field work with more than 10,000 respondents, as I said, and also a focus group and also social monitoring to summarize a lot of points. Now we only have a very detailed and very long Chinese version. If any of you are interested, I can send the Chinese version to you first, and then maybe a English version later. So here I've put some most related and I think most interesting topic here. So we can see that actually I believe these insights you must be able to find in multiple platforms. But here we also see that users are more interested in natural sightseeing. That would be the factor or maybe the reason that they want to have their travel plans in the future. And also they would prefer self-drive trips, and island vacations will be more preferred as well. And here are some a chart showing that some of the reasons that affect Chinese tourists' decision making. So the first point is they have concerns because after the COVID-19, they might be like spending more time on their work or maybe with their families, so they don't have sufficient time to plan for their trips this year. And the second point will be the limited budget. Actually, in the detailed report, we can see that the budget they expect that they can allocate on this year is actually a little bit larger than last year, but users do express their concerns on the budget. And the third point will be concerns of safety. So for the third part, they have concerns on the risks and the safety issues we have listed out the more detailed factors of the risk that they are concerned most. The first point will be they are afraid that there are too many people in the attractions or maybe in the scenery spots. So when we know that when people are they are a crowd here, the users are worried about the risks of being infected by the coronavirus. And the second part will be the transportation, the accommodation, the restaurants and the entertainment facilities are not like clean enough. And the third part will be due to the coronavirus, some of the scenery spots might have restrictions on their functions and on their program. For example, the swimming pool might not be opened and some of the functions might not be available. So they are worrying about if I go to abroad, I spend money on the flights and on the hotels, but I cannot have a full experience of the destination. That's the third concern factors. And also the fourth part is quite similar. The travel products, the choose of destinations will be less is also what they are concerned the most. And the fifth and the sixth points will be the emotional factors. They are worried about because they will be concerned about the hygiene risks and also the facilities. It will hold them back and will make them like less relaxed during the whole trip. That's more for the emotional factors. So it is also very important for us to make sure that we have delivered very clear message to our customers. For example, we can position our hotel not only as a hotel, but maybe a destination with a very good hygiene situation, and to make the users believe that maybe if you spend 3 to 4 days in Malaysia in our hotels, you can have a very relaxed like experience, and you don't need to worry about those hygiene or other facilities issues. And also, according to the survey, we found that national holiday will be the most most audience think they are tend to travel during Golden Week, the national holiday, while only 27% of them think they will start traveling during the summer holiday. So it's also very, I'd say it's also very impactful for us to get better prepared, at least like before the national holiday, because if the situation gets better, more Chinese tourists will start plan for their national holiday trip. And also compare like different types of trip. For example, a personal trip or family trip or group trip. More people choose to have a personal trip. The reason behind is if they have like families and they are elder people, they have like high concerns of the senior people's health situations and also a child's health situations. So they prefer to go abroad, or maybe even it's just China domestic trips. They prefer personal trips. Or if like 2 to 3 people, it will be better to be companioned with their accompanied by their friends or their couples, but not be like a whole family trip. Okay, so the last part I will be also sharing some smart travel services and how they enhance the hotel online and offline experience. Here are some examples of different hotel brands and their appearance on WeChat mini program. So the first one will be from IHT Group. It's a online booking page that I've screen capped here. So users can go into the mini program and to check availability of the hotel and make immediate purchase. And the and here the second one is also a mini program from Marriott. So they featured some menu and also the dining services of their hotel. We also have seen a lot of survey and insights saying that more hotels are actually like featuring more about their dining services during the recovery period of COVID-19 in China, because we know we have been like eating at home and cooking at home for a very long time. So if the hotel can have some discounts or have some promotional campaigns for their dining services, then more people will consider to go to the hotel to have maybe a dinner, and maybe will stay like one night there. And also the third one is a screen cap of PubMed for reference. And we can see that more hotel group have done some direct sales on their mini program to attract consumers. The last one is the Wanda group. Okay, so here we also shared a facial recognition capability of Tencent Cloud. Of course, as we said, maybe during the recovery period, people are still required to wear a facial mask, but they can also consider to use the WeChat QR code to scan the machine or the device in the hotel to check in. So here is just an example of facial recognition. You can use the WeChat program to book the room and make purchase with some special accounts to WeChat users only. And when you go to one of the hotel users, they can put in their what is it, the to be protected, because we don't need to touch any places in the and very similar. You can use this facial recognition or the QR code scanning to do checkout automatically without like a direct contact to the staff in the hotel. So it will have a better protection, like a protection to the Chinese tourists, to give them a confidence that all the things and all our hotels are like well prepared to welcome them to go to Malaysia. And also, for example, you can use the mini program to better feature your hotel in-room services. As we said, as Mr. Harling has shared earlier, it is the dining services in the hotel will also be very different. For example, the breakfast, we might not be able to go to the restaurants to have breakfast, but we can use the mini program to select different types of breakfast, and you can have the staffs to do a delivery to your room. And what's a very common situation in China is we order food on maybe Jingdong or maybe on Dianping, for example, and we can see some updates on the online delivery platform. They will give you a tips and make you a promise that the staffs and also the people who are going to deliver the food to your home have been checked and make sure they don't have any fever and don't have any the symptoms of fever or maybe the symptoms of a cold. So to make sure that you will be safe and all the things are sanitized. And here is also examples of a Thailand hotel, Sofitel. They leverage the like Meituan and also Dianping and also the mini program to launch on their campaign, which are to their loyalty members. So the highlighted activities are meals, entertainment, sports, transportation, and arts and culture, etc., etc. So the positioning of the hotel will actually be a destination, but not only a hotel. And also here is an example of the Courtyard Marriott in Thailand. They've been collaborated with a Tencent's variety show called Chinese Restaurant. So they've put the variety show related content on their marketing campaigns, and they've launched the WeChat moment. So the campaign have actually generated a very good video views, around 900 million. So if you are interested, you can also talk to us and to like have some collaboration with Tencent's self-produced variety show or TV drama or our gaming, etc., etc., to have a better connection of your brand with the Chinese target audience. And here are some more like standard case studies of how brands leverage mini program to do a membership card and also some back-end CRM, and also maybe use the WeChat mini program to have an invoice for their trip. So to summarize, here is a user journey that we hope you can find it helpful. Like how do we leverage official account and mini program for the reservation, and how do you use WeChat Pay to pay for the room, maybe with a better rate for WeChat users only, and how do we leverage the Tencent Smart Solution and the cloud solutions to do tagging, and maybe also a membership and loyalty program for our users. You can have a membership card or maybe some e-vouchers, and this membership cards and e-vouchers will be bound to your WeChat Pay account, and also some other services, especially to like improve your in-room and in-hotel services. And then to summarize again, that's how we leverage WeChat ecosystem to serve the Chinese consumers. As we have mentioned, the WeChat official account, we can use it to do community management and brand awareness. And also mini program, we can leverage mini program to improve users' experience and also have maybe online booking, the room booking services to make more conversions, to drive more sales within WeChat. And also the third one is WeChat Pay. Namely, we can have the WeChat Pay function to shorten the whole conversion path. So the last part will be if we have enough budget. After we got these three elements ready, we will be also recommended to leverage some Tencent advertising solutions to maximize campaign awareness and also to help you reach to your target audience who are interested in coming to Malaysia in the near future. So we can see the left-hand side is actually some hotel brands and also travel retail brands who have launched their WeChat accounts. It's the Lexus Hotel and also the Eastern and Oriental Hotel of Malaysia, and also Pavilion Shopping Mall and the Legoland. So we can have more case studies here, but actually a lot of brands have been taking action on WeChat accounts and have been updating their information regularly to interact with the China audience and also maybe some of the local Malaysia WeChat users. Okay, so here finally we have summarized some key takeaways for our today's sharing. So the first part will be we can leverage Tencent's cloud and smart services to enhance the travel experience, mainly with the mini program function. For example, how do we enable the online shop function and also the in-room services? And the second point will be it is important for us to start communicating with our target audience earlier. And it's important for us to have some CSR social responsibility related messages to resonate with the Chinese audience. And also the third part, the safety issue, the hygiene condition of the destination and also the facilities are the most concerned factors of Chinese tourists when they are making the decision of when do I like start traveling abroad and where do I want to go. And also in terms of the season and also the time, China national holiday, the Golden Week, the first week of October will be the most like the most people expected to have their first trip in Golden Week. And also the last point will be, we know that I believe the situation in Malaysia will also be quite similar to China, because after the situation is getting stabilized, more and more people will be considering to have a local trip, a domestic trip first. So in terms of Malaysia local trip, because we also have a large amount of user base in Malaysia, so it is also recommended for us to consider use WeChat as a marketing platform to interact with the Malaysian local audience. So the above are pretty much my sharings and the recommendations to us today. And if you are interested to know more about Tencent platform, you can leave your questions to our host, or you can send me an email directly, and we can have like more in-depth discussion after our sharing session. Thank you all. I will shift to Wilson.
Thank you, Kishi, for the very detailed and very complicated statistics and data that you have generated for us. I think it very much benefits our audience today. Well, next, let's welcome long-awaited Mona from Voov.
Okay, wait a minute.
Okay, so can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining our webinar today, and thanks DJ Link for organizing it. I'm Mona from Voov, and the biggest travel social network in China. This coronavirus is now, I think, a worldwide challenge, and tourism industry is one of the industries that has been hit greatly. We hope at this time we can stand with global travel partners and help as much as we can. So today I will briefly introduce what we're doing and share some insights on how will this pandemic influence Chinese outbound travel and what we can do about it. Before this pandemic, actually, number of Chinese travelers who travel to the world is increasing very quickly every year. The travel duration is getting longer, and also the spending on travel is getting more. So I think travelers they have actually multiple channels to get information. More than 95% of people will make travel plans ahead, and more than 50% of them will get information directly with their own from travel content platform like us. So they travel all over the world. and they explore the world with their own unique ways. Here we can see a lot of the pictures they take and a lot of the videos they take. They just go into everywhere. And they are also very willing to share with others their travel stories. We can say that more than 61% of the travelers, they're actually very keen on sharing their travel stories to others. So all these interactions before travel, during travel, and after travel are most probably happened on the content platform like Voov. We're trying to connect these fun-loving people with this fun world. So this is what we're doing before and right now. And currently, the tourism is gradually recovering in a very slow pace. And some of the travel habits were totally changed during this pandemic. In the past May Day holiday, which is May the 1st to May the 5th, it's a 5 days holiday. Number of domestic tourists receptions reached 115 million, with a revenue of about 47.56 billion USD. This number has recovered 50% to 60% compared last year. And compared with Qingming holiday, which is in early April, this number has increased 166%. So it is a good sign. It shows that the tourism is recovering, but in a very slow pace. So for hotel business, they're also struggling here. So they have different kind of measures to help to boost the business. For example, of course, they need to make the public believe that they're safe to stay. And also they have this pre-cancellation policy. For example, people can book their hotel and they are afraid to cancel at any time during this year to make sure that people have no worries when booking it. And also, because of the pandemic, people are more care about their families. So the family trip actually is the new trendy. Wherever they go, they want to take their families together. So they also launched some products which are suitable for families. And also they have some kind of coupons. For example, like 500 RMB vouchers, but equal to like 800 RMB values. So in all these kinds of ways, they're trying to boost their own business. And usually, and for their domestic travel, maybe 1 month ahead. So we believe that maybe in August, no, not in August, in October, during the national holiday, which is a long holiday for 7 days, travel will be like further recovered. So July and August and also September will be a good time to start travel marketing. If we take a look at the hot topics and also hot search words during the pandemic, we found that self-driving, camping, travel to suburbs, and also visit maybe a local museum, as well as family trip are the new trendy ones. And users' preferences for the overseas destinations have also changed. In the top 20 list of overseas popular countries, Vietnam and Singapore actually dropped a lot significantly due to the entry restrictions policy. Vietnam issued a ban on air traffic on February 1st, and Singapore restricted Chinese tourists from entering the country on February 2nd. So they are the first ones to launch these restrictions. And some European countries, especially the emerging niche destinations, have attracted more users' attention due to the relatively low tourism risk and also like friendliness showed during the pandemic. Most typically, like Serbia, As to Russia, due to the popularity of a new Chinese movie, Lost in Russia, which is released during the Spring Festival, a large number of users show their interests as well. Malaysia still ranks fourth, which is very promising. So what we have done to help these users stay connected with the world during this pandemic. In the daily time, we always encourage these young people to go out and explore the world. During this special time, we turn to encourage them to embrace the world online. Although people cannot set out to travel, but their desire to travel has never faded. What we have been trying to do was keeping interacting with them and keep company during the pandemic and be ready for the moment once their travel need can be released. We have been trying to help these travelers greeting, get to know, and travel the world online. During this special period, users have also inspired the trend of online travel, which is also mentioned by Kishi just now. In particular, video content such as watching bloggers' travel blogs, visiting museums online, and learning travel skills, photograph skills, etc. The views of this video content even surpassed what we have on February last year. The topic of the 100 ways you can have fun at home is also a hit topic at the time. Many users of us said that the epidemic would eventually pass and those canceled travel plans would come true in a more beautiful sight. So this young FIT, which means free independent travelers, have multiple channels to access information and they have a more clear and rational judgment on market changes. So we believe they will be the pioneer travelers when tourism markets actually get recovering. We have launched an online wish-making event, invited these travelers to speak out where is their next dream destination. Sorry, I get back to this. By now, more than 360,000 users have participated in this event, and more than 80,000 of them want to travel to Wuhan after the epidemic to show their support for Wuhan. And the majority of people wish to travel to Maldives, Japan, Russia, Malaysia, South Korea, and other neighboring countries. And going Russia or Norway, Canada to see Aurora, and going Japan to see Olympic are the most popular experiences. And we have also cooperated with Tourism Board of 52 countries to make an event of online collecting fridge magnets. Each tourism board has recorded a short video to send wishes to Chinese people. So these users can check these videos when they collect the magnet. More than 660,000 people have participated in this one. And also during this time, online games, which is travel related, such as Animal Crossing and Ring Fit Adventure, has become super popular among these young people. So based on that, we hope that we could also get people to understand a destination through small, intelligent, funny games. So we launched a new form of game called Brain Challenge Garden. And every small game focused on one destination. Through some quiz, you could get past and get prize, and also befriend with other users who are playing this game. So we did the first series with Korea Tourism Board, and it also gets very popular. Sorry. Okay. This is also a very good time for travel stakeholders to create some new form of travel content, like live broadcast to keep connection with these potential travelers. Since April, when the situation It's getting much better domestically in China and also in some other countries and districts. We start to do a lot of live broadcast shows. The daily active users of watching the live has been doubled in just 1 month, and the average watching time has increased 2.7 times. More than half of our global partners are now in preparing for their first live. So among all the lives, outbound destinations stand out with their attracting contents. You can see like Tourism Board of New Zealand and Germany and Western Australia. They all get very high like popularity and also a large number of viewers. We think there are plenty new opportunities for Malaysia stakeholders to do some live broadcast here, because you have like hotel leisure experience, light luxury vacation, or some like Nanyang style things to show to the people here in China. And we also did this live broadcast program with some hotels like Atlantis in Sanya, and they could also put their product, link their product to the live broadcast. So people can watch this live broadcast, and at the same time they can check for the details and also make their bookings. This also gets some quite great viewers. And last month, we also invite one Malaysia hotel to do the live broadcast. It is the Terrace Beach and Spa Resort in Redang. It is their first live in our app, and also I think in China. And they got also very good popularity and viewers, and they got quite excited about this. And after they did this live broadcast, they actually received one orders, even if the border has not reopened yet. But there are people already making their bookings. So after the pandemic, I think people are going to traveling to the neighboring countries. So we believe there are many opportunities for us, and we hope that we could be the one to provide one-stop service from content checking and browsing to product booking. And for people who come to our website to view contents, to look for some practical suggestions and informations, we could push the relevant content to them based on their preference, their locations, and their user portraits, and making the information reach the target audience as accurately as we can. So we actually, the more the users come to our website, the more we get to know them, and we have different labels for all these people. So that makes us have the ability to push accurate content to the relevant users. We have different kind of forms of contents here, like text and graphics, and also products, and also like live broadcast videos and shows. So we can do all kinds of content and push those contents to the users. And we now have contents covering actually more than 60,000 destinations. And we have POI, which means point of interest or point of information. We got like more than 63 million of that all over the world. And this new experience of destinations are also something attracting to these young people. So here I would introduce some kinds of content forms, maybe for you to do as a very good start. So the first one is the POI, which I mentioned before, point of interest, because Chinese travelers, they don't actually have the habits of going to the official website to check information. What they actually used to do is to go to one major app and they check all the information. So this POI page is actually like an official page in our app. So you have this page, and it could include an available choice. So today I will introduce mainly like PGC and OGC. So for PGC, professional generated content, usually we will leveraging the power of these KOLs. So they could output this KOL note, travel note, which is usually like 200 to 300 words and 10 to 20 pictures to show their travel experiences or to tell their travel stories. And for these KOLs, they have their followers like thousands or tens of thousands followers. So they could have their own influence to their followers. So we always leverage their power to output this kind of travel content. And then also they could write long travel blogs, which is usually like 3,000, 4,000 words and hundreds of high quality pictures to tell their travel stories in a very complete and detailed way. So sometimes you just don't need some travel guide, but you use a travel blog and you can copy others' travel. So this is what we call like PGC, and also OGC, like official generated contents. Of course, we can do some official note with our official account. So in this way, people will find this information more trustable because it is official. And also we could do like a video or travel guide. So in this way, we could introduce your hotel or introduce a destination, introduce an experience in a very complete view and in a very comprehensible way. So these are basically what we do. And our logic is that because we have so many content and very rich for content, so we will have users come to us like naturally, and then from with those contents we could influence their decision making, and we also provide the very cost-effective travel products on our website, so they could also do the booking here. So from content to decision making to booking, we could have a closed loop of this consumption. And our hotel information actually, or hotel products actually can link to different kinds of content. No matter it is travel notes or POI or travel guides, you can all link to your travel products, your hotel booking page. So they could make reservations while they're reading this content. If they're interested in it, they could check for the details and do the booking at one time. So also we have some recovery like suggestions to you because we think this is a relatively very slow pace. So probably like from July to the end of this year, it can be a rebound period, and the like comprehensive recovery maybe need to be waited to next year. So here are some suggestions to you. I think the first one is that we need to keep communicating with these Chinese travelers and show your support. And the second one is keep the epidemic related information in your country updated in real time. And also build a content production system in line with the epidemic recovery period. And also strengthen your data management and analysis to make sufficient preparations to catch the opportunity of tourism recovery. And destinations with high user attention like Malaysia in the near future should do marketing maybe in advance from like July or maybe September. Yeah, so that's something that I want to share today. And I think no matter at home or on the way, we are trying to build this connection with users and the world. And we have also collaborated with a lot of tourism board as well as a lot of brands. And we hope that you could be one of our partners as well. And I think travel is actually in people's blood. So no matter what happens, travel itself cannot stop. So we just need to prepare for the recovery. And we do hope that all the hotels or other stakeholders in Malaysia can stand together and be through this very difficult time, and we could wait for the recovery to come. Yeah, that's my sharing today. So thanks all for listening.
Thank you, Mona. So what you said earlier, Travis is our blood. Yes, who would rather stay at home if there's no COVID, right? So thanks to panelists. If you do guys have any questions, please post it up. In the meantime, I've collected quite numbers of questions. Maybe the first question. Wait. First question to Mr. Halim. Yeah, is that will MAH be organizing any seminars to help the hotel operators to digitalize their systems? Sorry, Halim, then you forgot to unmute yourself.
Now it's good. Okay, yeah. In fact, MAH will be organizing 3 webinars in the month of June, yeah, next month. Okay, and this would cover areas of what I've mentioned earlier with regards to moving forward. How do we rebound to or restart our business? What sort of preparation are we looking at? There's also a talk or a webinar based on the new revenue management, okay? And this will cover in the areas of how do we start looking at pricing ourselves, yeah? Because as we all know, Malaysia is probably one of the most affordable destination compared to the other countries in the Southeast Asia for that matter. And it's probably an opportunity whereby we are able to look at how we want to reprice ourselves, structure the pricing, and this should be done based on the perceived value and the perceived product that you have, based on the location that the hotels are based in. Yeah, okay, so that will happen. The webinar will be happening in June, and we will be actually covering another topic, which is with regards to education and training of the new norms. Yeah, so those are the 3 topics for the month of June, and this will continue because I believe virtual communication would be the way to go now, and the outreach would be actually be better compared to if we were, you know, as you know now, we can't do any meetings, no conferences or seminars. So it's going to be virtual. So that will be happening in June, and this will be announced to our members and also to our other associations such as the Malaysian Association of Hotel Owners, and also to MIBA, which is the Budget Hotel Association members as well. Yeah, thank you.
Sure, thank you. A question for both Mona and Kishu. How can a small private brand with limited budget advertise wisely on both platforms? Maybe you can start with Kishu.
Hello. Thank you for your questions. I think it's actually a very good questions from the hotel brands, especially those with middle or maybe smaller size. We totally understand that a lot of you, or maybe most of you, might think that advertising on WeChat Moments or maybe on Tencent platform is very expensive, or it requires a very high minimum buy, but it's not true. It's actually not true at all. So previously, we know that it is required for the brands to have a WeChat official account. It's like a compulsory or like a required condition for the brands to advertise on WeChat, but it's now no longer a requirement items. So for example, if you have a very comprehensive content plan, you can set up a WeChat official account. For sure, that will be good because you can accumulate the fan base. But if you don't have a enough resources to do page maintenance, to do the WeChat official account content management, you can also just spare a maybe a smaller amount to try some standard banners, or maybe, as I said, the GDT platform. You can try out the GDT and network platform to advertise on WeChat. And now it's actually a very good timing for all of us to know is actually in China that we know more. We are encouraging more like small to medium-sized brands to advertise on WeChat. So we now no longer need WeChat official account to do WeChat moment ads. So it's quite similar to Facebook website click ad. You don't actually need to have a Facebook brand page, right? So you can have your ad to be appear on WeChat moment or on a WeChat official accounts, the bottom of the articles, or maybe you can have your ad to be appearing on Tencent News, Tencent Videos, QQ, and QQ Zone, etc., etc., and with maybe CPC, real-time bidding CPC models to reach your target audience. So I'd say the mean buy is actually much lower than you expected. So what we want is to help the brands to have the more accurate targeting with like very cost-effective pricing. So you could send me an email, or you can reach out to DigiLink to help you to have a more detailed recommendation for the advertising part.
Sure, thank
That's
you.
my answer. I hope it's helpful. Thank you.
Mona, do you have any recommended answer for that?
Yeah, I think I have three suggestions. The first one is that, yeah, like Kishi have said, we do have a lot of free options actually. For example, on Mafengwo app, you can set up your POI page for free. Then you just need to fulfill all the information in that page and update your pictures and videos. So that one is for free. And also, you could open your official account for free. So with your official account, you actually can launch small activities. You can publish your contents, and you can also answer people's questions with an official identity. So these two options are totally free, so you can start to do it now. And if you want to bring more traffic to it, probably you pay a little bit money on ads. Yeah, the second suggestion is that and also with your official account, you can also do live broadcasting, which we have mentioned before. Yeah. And the second suggestion is that we have launched some small budget advertisement options. Like starting point probably be like 50,000 yuan RMB. So it includes some contents and also includes some kinds of advertisement, news feed, and like a focus picture, things like that. So if your budget is very limited, but you still want to advertisement, then you can try this special package, which we are open for this middle accounts, clients outbound. And also the third one is that because on our app, actually we only focus on the good content. So as long as your content is good enough, you can get like higher ranks, and also you can be pushed to the target audiences. So what you can do is that you just create a content yourself, or maybe invite some KOLs, local KOLs is also good, and to create many content. So just make sure your content is of high quality, then it can be recommended to our users. And a lot of partners actually are self-generating these contents for a long time. So they get very good results. So I think that are three suggestions that I can give.
Thank you very much. There's one question specifically for Mr. Halim. There's one I remember. I think he's asking if you are aware of the cost involved in KKM is infecting hotels. Should one of their staff is affected with COVID, and what is the and what different costs a hotel must pay for the sick staff member?
Okay, there's two parts here. Yeah, you're talking about hotels which are on quarantine, or you're talking one of the, because we have provided 35,000 rooms to KKM for as quarantine hotels. Now the question, is it based on those quarantine hotels, or is it based on hotels in general?
These infecting hotels.
Well, we actually don't have a specific amount of how much it costs to disinfect the hotel, because if the hotel is a quarantine hotel and there is a positive case in the quarantine hotel, for instance, one room, yeah. So what the hotels are being asked to do is to actually close the entire floor. And the government, the KKM team will come in to actually do the disinfecting. And this is based on hotels which are gazetted as quarantine hotels. So if you are not one of those quarantine hotels, then the cost is actually going to be on the hotel itself, right? When we talk about trying to disinfect a hotel, currently the most important thing is to reduce the areas where guests can walk or go or have access to. Because you don't want to have your lounge open when it's not operating, because people will end up sitting in your lounge. And if there is a situation of a positive case, that would involve increasing the cost of disinfecting the area. So it's ideal that you need to now, if you look at a hotel, open your reception area, even your lobby. If you have a large lobby, you should close the area up to ensure that, again, no exposure. And the coffee house, yeah, that is why the SOP or the CMCO from the government, even though they say that hotels can operate, it is limited to certain facilities only. Gym, swimming pool, bars, lounge, all those are closed, yeah, or rather not allowed to operate. Guess who checks in? They cannot walk around the hotel. It is from the reception up to the room and room out of the hotel. Yeah. So again, if you look at the cost of cleaning one room on a normal basis, and that is just at housekeeping cleaning, for example, all right, that per room may cost you approximately 15 to 20 ringgit per room for cleaning, right? So to disinfect it means, you need to bring down your curtain, you need to wash your curtain, you need to shampoo your carpet, you need to do disinfecting of your areas, those tight areas, especially those areas that cannot get in. So one of the things that housekeeping and hotels must do now is to actually invest in one of those misting machines in order for you to reach those deep ends. And cost-wise, it all depends on the suppliers that you're using at the end of the day. Yeah. Okay. I hope that answers the question.
Okay. Okay. One question for Kishi and Mona. Can this account be linked on time schedule platform so content updating or newsfeed are more efficient rather than all individual platforms? I think what he's trying to say is that if there's any platform that can combine two, is that what you're saying? FPL? Well, I think there's no such platform right now to connect both, to do at one place to connect two. Okay. Could you help me ask Kishi what her company recommends for small company who wish to utilize Tencent app to make contact with potential travelers?
Sorry, what's the question again? I think for the first question, in Tencent in-house, we do not have a platform to help the users to like connect different platforms, including Tencent and Voov, for example, to do a automatic blasting of the content. But sorry, what's the second question again? Is it like how do we leverage Tencent platforms?
What would you recommend for small companies who wish to utilize our Tencent apps to make contact with potential travelers?
You mean live?
Tencent apps to make contact with potential travelers.
Ah, I see. So I think for the smaller companies, as I said, WeChat official account, or maybe like QQ accounts, or maybe a Tencent a video brand Zoom is actually all like open platform in Tencent's like the Tencent's ecosystem. So you can actually set up your own official account, or maybe some other accounts on Weishi. Weishi is also a short video platform by Tencent. It's WEISHI, Weishi. And also we have like a video channel just newly launched on WeChat. It's very similar to story function within Instagram. Just take it as a reference to you. So it's all free. So if you have some content, maybe just image or video content, you can post by your in-house team to these platforms. And also, if you do want to maximize a little bit of as the aforementioned content that you have post on our platform, you can also leverage the GDT platform. As I said, actually the minimum spend is very, very low. So you can try it out with your in-house operation team if you have those human resources, or you can talk to maybe DigiLink, our preferred partner in Malaysia, to help you customize the campaign. So I think it will be very cost effective after you calculate the ROI. So for example, you have like different CPC or CPA banners to help you drive the traffic to the content or to your brand channel. That would be one of the recommendation. And the second thing, as I said, the 看点 live streaming mini program within WeChat. It is also free as well, but just need some human resources or the team to help you to conduct a live streaming activity. So actually, as a platform in China, we offered a lot like free solutions and free tools for different brands to leverage. Just it depends on your strategy and your objective. So if you are interested, you can like send me an email with more detail of your brand, and we can see how do we help you to like start your marketing campaigns within the Tencent ecosystem. Hope you find it helpful.
Sorry, first of all, I think my computer is running low battery. I'm switching over here.
It's cute.
Okay, there's let me take 2 more questions before we end this section. First is that would there be planning for live streaming selling for resort to promote their property before Voov and Tencent?
Or maybe I'll pass to Mona to answer this question first.
Yeah, I think for now, there are 2 ways to do this live broadcasting. One way is to directly sell the products, like Ctrip and other platform. They do a lot of this kind of live broadcast. So how they do it is they ask the hotel for a special price, which is need to be lower than the normal price, maybe like 200, 300 yuan lower than a normal price. Then they could have this kind of special live broadcast to sell this hotel or sell a bunch of hotels together. So why people are coming to this live broadcast and buy the products is because of the special price, and also the willing to go that destination, of course. So in this kind of live broadcast, actually they could have a very good results of the sales. I don't have the numbers at my hand, but because like Ctrip has already did this kind of live broadcast in 10 cities, 11 cities by yesterday, and they sell different hotels in different area. And I think they're doing very good. And each of the live broadcasts, the viewers are very high, and also the sales are the numbers are very good. And the other kind of live broadcast, like we do, is actually still focused on the contents, like focus on inspiring people. So what the live broadcast we do is all outdoors. So you need to be at outdoor and you need to show some experience to our audience, like people who have never been to New Zealand before, so they need to watch this live broadcast to say, oh, what I can experience there, or what this hotel looks like. So this is more like still focused on the experience stage. And we do not like create the atmosphere like you need to buy now, you need to buy now. So that's a different way of doing this live broadcasting. In this way, I think the sales are not the focus. And also the conversion is relatively low. So that's two different ways to do it. And you can choose either way to do it.
Last questions before we end. For three of you, what would be your best three approaches for hotel operators to get back on their customers?
Ladies, you want to start? Ladies first.
Three keyword.
Three approaches. I think there's a latency. Kishi, you want to start first?
You mean three projects?
Yeah,
Or
three approaches.
Three approaches.
three key approaches, right? As I think maybe some of the sharings from Mr. Harling, from Mona, and maybe from Tencent are also quite similar. So the first one will be like we can have some very loving care message to be delivered to our customers in China and maybe in local Malaysia. The objective is like not only to show our support to the customers and our care for them during the pandemic, but also to feature ourselves as like we have great social responsibility, and we as hotels are like getting very well prepared for to welcome the users in the near future. So we can keep updating the contents of the situation in our hotels and how we are like doing a good sanitation, how we are like getting better prepared to welcome them. That will be the first approach and the first recommended angle that we can do. And the second thing is for the brands, maybe we some of us might have concerns on the maybe marketing budget, but we as a whole, as a association, maybe we can come up with the idea. For example, we can have more than one hotels, maybe a bunch of hotels, to do a live streaming campaign together, no matter it's on like OTAs or maybe on Tencent's WeChat mini program. As I mentioned, the 看点 live streaming. Actually, the live streaming campaign done by Ctrip is also went through our 看点 live streaming platform. So we can just imagine the scenario. For example, we have a team in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, so we can have a live streaming room. We can have like some girls or maybe some staffs from the hotel. That would be very interesting. We can show that we can have the camera to show the audience like how our hotel looks like and how is our like the food sets, the menu that maybe we can deliver to the rooms, for example, etc., etc. So the users will be attracted to the live streaming room to watch our live streaming. And during the live streaming session, we can have some interaction with the users. The first type of interaction might be lucky draw. For example, you can have a QR code and say, hey, when it's like, for example, if it's an hour long, live streaming, we can put it every 15 minutes and ask the users to scan your QR code to go to another page to join the lucky draw. So after they get the lucky draw, they will be able to join to enjoy a discounts of the room price. And also a more direct way for all of us will be having a online shop. It can be a your own mini program by a hotel themselves, which is an official mini program. And it can be Weidian, which is a official e-shop platform by WeChat, or it can be JD.com, Jingdong, our partner. So we do have like different types of landing page. So within the mini program, it will be helpful for us to like increase our branding, also interact with our customers, and most importantly, will help us to drive the online sales. So that's the second approach. And the third thing I'd say, if you want me to say like to share for 3 approaches, I will say you can consider more like smart hotel solution in the long run, not only for the epidemic recovery. As I shared, maybe the smart check-in solutions with our mini program, from booking online to like a check-in functions, or maybe in-room services, etc., etc. And then you will be like better prepared to the future campaigns and to like a long-term like exposures when you are going to interact with younger generation in China. So that will be 3 like most recommended approaches from Tencent. And only want to add one more point here. As you can see that Voov meeting that we are using today is also a free online conferencing solutions that Tencent are offering to all the brands all over the world. Sorry, I'm like too upselling here. Yeah, I think if you guys are interested and if you want to like have a tool to have an easier and more convenient communication with your partner, no matter it's in Malaysia or in mainland China, or maybe in other countries. Now we support 140 countries all around the world. You may consider Voov Meeting as your online conferencing solution. So that's my 3+1 recommended approaches to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mona? Aline?
I don't know. Is Mona ready? I can go. Yeah.
Okay. Aline, please.
Well, the 3 approaches or 3 things that we can take from today is basically, as you can hear, the 2 ladies, Kishi and Mona, it's very, very social media driven, whereby your marketing is truly communicated through social media. So as I mentioned in my own opening earlier, was that this is the way to go, and you need to make sure that you are very well acquainted and very well equipped with the social media or technology driven marketing from now on. Of course, you need the human touch and the blended marketing, what we call the old-fashioned style of still sales calls, hard selling calls, and all that. However, due to the social distancing, I believe a lot of companies as well will have very strict SOPs when you visit the offices. So, you know, at the end of the day, you're going to have to communicate via technology, via e-platforms, e-commerce marketing, to make sure you are able to still market your products. And it's quite interesting to look at the data that was shared by Kishi and Mona with regards to now that the Chinese market, for that matter, and I'm sure it's not solely for the Chinese market only, I'm sure Malaysians as well, will now start looking at lifestyle marketing, whereby they want to make sure that not only the adults can enjoy a vacation or a trip to a hotel or dining in a hotel. I think there are a lot more now, as you can see from the surveys that were done and what was displayed by both ladies, that family travel, family outings, it has become quite an increase now. Yeah. So I think when you couple this together, social media, e-platform, and lifestyle marketing, this is what Malaysian tourism is trying to promote for Malaysia as well, which is what we call the destination marketing. People will not come to Kuala Lumpur just for meetings anymore. They're going to come here and they're going to make sure that they have a full destination package that they can deal with, which may cover shopping, sightseeing, at the same time do their business. Yeah. Now, it's also interesting from the data that was shown by both ladies was that the Chinese market seems to be looking at self-drive. Now, obviously, international license is required, and also at the end of the day, it is an eye-opener for the Malaysian travel agents to now actually really look at marketing chauffeur-driven packages, not in a large bus or a large van with 2-3 families. It seems now that the family wants to have a little bit more private self-time travel experience. Yeah. So I think this also allows them to spend more time at a certain place of interest or at the destination. So I think this is something that at least I can share with my members, or if my members are listening, that these are things that we need to now prepare ourselves for the new post-COVID, what do you call it, marketing. Yeah. So on that note, and I like the fact that Kishi had a bit of a selling of this current platform for the meeting. Maybe, and I'm asking for the members of Malaysian Hotels Association on whether or not Tencent and Mafengwo is able to provide a very special package for our members in order for us to do live broadcasting, advertising into your platforms in China, whereby we are able then to reach out to the customers and our future guests to encourage them to come to Malaysia. Yeah. So, and with that, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mona, are you with us?
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So the first thing I want to say is that maybe it is a time that is very difficult to have some like new customers. So, but it's probably a good time for you to reconnect with your old customers. So maybe many hotels have I think have their own like membership, because I'm a member of Marriott Hotel. I have received several letters since March, I think, from the head of Marriott to tell us like what is the progress with the hotels, what kind of sanitary measures they newly approached. So that gave me a feeling of like safe and trustworthy. So I think probably it is a good time for you to reconnect with all the memberships and give them a feeling of very trustful and very, very, very safe feeling. So they probably will be your first customers to return. And the second thing is that I think free cancellation policy is really, really very important, because we sell travel products as well as like hotel booking products on our own platform. So from the data, we can see that for hotels with free cancellation policy, they have a much higher booking rate than the hotels who have not. So this is one thing that's particularly very important. And the third one is that I think, yeah, as everyone mentioned before, probably it's a good time to try different channels, to try different different manners and different ways to do some kind of marketing and approach the new customers just to the degree that you can reach, I think. Use different channels and reach as many as you can.
Thank you very much. Thank you once again, Mona, Kishi, and of course, Halim, American, for the participation. We heard you, Halim, about the bundle of the solutions together between Tencent and Voov, and perhaps some others just for your members. We will take a look on that. We'll get back to you soon. And last but not least, thank you very much for all the participants taking their own sweet time to attend this webinar. Well, before we end, is that we will be sending you a feedback form. Please feel free to come back to us so that we can improve every time. And if you do have any questions, please feel free to drop me an email, and of course, do give us a like on your Facebook, WeChat, and LinkedIn. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank you.
guys. Thank you.
谢谢你们哦。
谢谢。
谢谢，
哎
谢谢，
谢谢，辛苦啦。
谢谢。
对啊
你们
大家
谢谢。
加油
Thank
加油。
you, Mr. Halim. Thank you, Mona.